Good morning, and welcome to Charles Travels, the podcast where we explore the hidden gems of America and celebrate the extraordinary aspects of ordinary life. I'm your host, Charles, and I'm delighted to share with you a story that will transport you to a vibrant corner of Melbourne, Australia. Imagine yourself in the charming neighborhood of Cremorne, surrounded by the sights and sounds of a thriving community. That's where we find our first stop today. On Air, a unique coffee shop that's as much about the music as it is about the coffee. As I stepped inside, I was struck by the warm, inviting atmosphere, reminiscent of a 1970s loft vibe, with blonde timber bleachers and a cozy nook that beckons you to linger. The founders, Dion Murphy and Francesca Pochi, had a vision to create a space where music lovers could gather, enjoy great coffee and food, and experience the best of local talent. And that's exactly what they've achieved. On Air features a rotating lineup of DJs and in-house radio channels showcasing house and electronic music, making it a haven for musos and music enthusiasts alike. As I explored the menu, I discovered a delightful range of panini, including the best-selling Freddy's Panino, a mouth-watering combination of chicken schnitzel, lemon-dressed rocket, Mexican lime salt, and mayo on bread from a Botsford bakery dench. And of course, no visit to On Air would be complete without a cup of expertly brewed coffee, courtesy of Inglewood Coffee. What I love about On Air is the way it brings people together, fostering a sense of community and connection that's often hard to find in our busy lives. Whether you're a solo diner or meeting friends, this charming cafe is the perfect spot to relax, unwind, and indulge your senses. As we take a break from our journey, I invite you to imagine yourself in Cremorne, surrounded by the vibrant energy On Air. Take a deep breath, and let the sounds and aromas transport you to a place where music, food, and community come together in perfect harmony. We'll be right back with more fascinating travel adventures on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels, where we explore the fascinating stories and people that make up the fabric of our world. Today we're taking a detour from our usual journeys through small-town America and rural landscapes to delve into a tale that's both amusing and thought-provoking. As I was reading through the news recently, I came across a story that caught my eye: the appointment of Cardinal Kevin Farrell as the interim pope, or Camerlengo. What struck me wasn't so much the significance of this role, but rather the reaction to his name. It seems that people find it quite funny that a bloke called Kevin is now temporarily presiding over the Vatican's intricate rituals and traditions. But, as we often do on this show, let's dig a little deeper. Why do people find this amusing? Is it because the name Kevin seems out of place in the ornate world of the Vatican? Or is there something more to it? As I learned, the name Kevin has a fascinating history, particularly in France, where it became incredibly popular in the early 1990s. It's said that this was due to the influence of American pop culture, with names like Kevin from Home Alone and Kevin Costner becoming household names. However, this popularity came with a price. In France, Belgium, Quebec, and Germany, the name Kevin has become synonymous with certain, let's call them preconceptions. People with this name have reported being ridiculed, discriminated against, and even facing difficulties in their personal and professional lives. A documentary released this March, Salvons Kevin, sheds light on this phenomenon, sharing the stories of over 500 Kevins who have faced such challenges. It's a sobering reminder that our names can often be more than just a label. They can be a source of identity, pride, and even prejudice. As I reflect on this story, I'm reminded of the importance of empathy and understanding in breaking down these kinds of barriers. Perhaps, as the author suggests, it's time to reclaim the name Kevin and smash the stigma surrounding it. After all, as we've seen throughout history, names can hold a deep significance and power. As we take a break from our travels, I encourage you to think about the stories behind the names that surround us. Whether it's a Pope Kevin or a neighbor named Kevin, let's strive to look beyond the surface level and appreciate the complexities and nuances of human experience. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels, folks. As we wrap up today's journey across the landscape of American life, I want to take a detour into the world of politics, where the roads can get mighty bumpy. You know, I've always believed that the stories we tell about our communities, our leaders, and our values are what shape us as a people. And today, I've got a story that'll make you wonder about the twists and turns of campaign finance. It seems that Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, has been making waves with a massive mail-shot campaign targeting postal voters before the local elections. Now, I'm not one to shy away from a good underdog story, but when the Liberal Democrats started digging into the numbers, they found something that raised more than a few eyebrows. It appears that Reform UK spent over £2 million on personalised letters, which is a pretty penny, if you ask me. The question on everyone's mind is, where did all that money come from? The Electoral Commission's latest data shows that Reform UK only raised £281,000 in donations in the last quarter of 2024. That's a mighty big gap, folks. And when you consider that Reform's treasurer, Nick Candy, has been courting wealthy donors in low-tax havens like Monaco, well, it starts to smell like something fishy is going on. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Charles, what's the big deal? It's just politics as usual. But I say, when it comes to the integrity of our democratic process, we need to keep a watchful eye on who's funding these campaigns. The Liberal Democrats are right to ask questions, and Nigel Farage should come clean about where that money is coming from. As I travel across this great country, I meet folks from all walks of life who are passionate about their communities and want to make a difference. They're not beholden to special interests or big donors. They're just regular people who care. And that's what makes America tick, if you ask me. So, as we close out today's journey, I want to leave you with a thought. In a world where money can talk louder than the voices of the people, it's up to us to stay vigilant and demand transparency from our leaders. Whether it's Reform UK or any other party, we need to know who's behind the curtain, pulling the strings. That's all for today's Charles Travels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on traveling. That's all for today's Charles Travels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on traveling.